Good morning, guys. We are done with the formula for the sum of n terms. We are done with the formula for finding the nth term of the AP and many kuti formulas. Now we have to do a few sums based on the sum of n terms of an AP. And when we are doing that, we obviously rely on the formula that we have already studied, which is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d and n by 2 into the first term plus the last term of the AP. Then we also know the formula for the first n natural numbers, etc. etc. Let us do a few sums under the concept of the sum of n terms of an AP. So we know two formulas, n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d and n by 2 into the first term plus last term of the AP. So here we need to find the sum of the 20 terms of the AP, 1, 4, 7, 10, etc. So since we do not know the last term of the AP, we can directly find the last term of the AP. So let us find the sum of 20 terms by using both the methods. In the first case, I have used the formula n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. A is the first term, which is equal to 1. D is 4 minus 1, 3. Number of terms is 20. We need to find the sum of 20 terms. So directly applying the formula over here and simplifying it, I am getting 590. Now I will try with the second formula. N by 2 into a plus l. A is the first term and L I am using to denote the last term of the AP. In this case, it's the 20th term because we need to find the sum of only 20 terms. So, L is the 20th term. So, first I need to find the 20th term by using the formula A plus N minus 1 into D. So, you can see I got the term as a 58. So, I am directly applying into the formula 20 by 2 into 1 plus 58 is 590. Now, it is left to you which method you want to follow. But I suggest that when the last term is not given to you, in this case, the 20th term was not given to you. Since it is not given to you, instead of finding the 20th term and applying it in the second formula, you can directly use the first formula. But then if you do not want to use the first formula at all, you are very comfortable only with this one, then take the effort to find the 20th term and then apply it on the formula. Fine. Now let's do the second one. If the nth term of an AP is 2n plus 1, find the sum of the first n terms. So we need to find the sum of the first n terms means you have the formula either n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d or n by 2 into a plus n. Okay. Now here the nth term of the AP is already given to you. We need to find the sum of n terms means we know the value of L, which is equal to 2n plus 1. Okay. Now since the formula for the nth term is given to you, you know how to find the first term by substituting n is equal to 1. So you get a1 is equal to 2 into 1 plus 1, which is equal to 3. So you know the number of terms which here it is given as n. You know the value of a, which is a 3. You know the value of the last term 2n plus 1. So we can use the second formula here. Fine. Let's open the bracket. N by 2 into 4 plus 2n. Now 2 is a common factor in this. So I am taking it out. N by 2 into 2 into n plus 1. N plus 2. Sorry. 2 and 2 will get cancelled. I will get the answer as n into n plus 2. This is the sum of the first n terms of this particular AP whose nth term is given by 2n plus 1. Find the sum of the first 30 terms of an AP whose second term is 2 and the seventh term is 22. So we have been given the second term and the seventh term. So let us write it down. Second term is a 2 and the seventh term is a 22. You need to find S30. Okay. Now, what are the formulas that we know? We know the sum of n terms is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d or n by 2 into a plus n. Correct. Now, we know that the nth term is given by a plus n minus 1 into d. So, I can say that the second term is a plus d is equal to 2, which is a plus 1d basically. Now, this is a plus 21d is equal to 22. Sorry, a plus 6d is equal to 22. Okay. Now, you have got two equations. Now, let us try to solve, and you have got two unknown variables. Now, let us try to solve for these unknown variables. If you subtract 2 minus 1, okay, you will get 5d is equal to 20 or d is equal to 4. Now we know the value of D. We know that A is equal to 2 minus D. So we will get the value of A as minus 2. Now we have got the value of A and we have got the value of D. So I can directly substitute it in the first equation. So I will get n by 2 into 2A. Sorry, the value of A is a minus 2. 2 into 2 plus how many terms do we need to find? N is equal to 30. 30 minus 1 into 4. Okay. Now n is equal to 30 means 30 by 2 is a 50 into minus 4 plus 29 into 4. So here you will get 15. Okay. So minus 112 into 15. This is what we are getting. Now let us find out the final value for this particular one. Here I had made a mistake in the sign. Minus 4 plus 116 is a plus 112. So we are getting plus 1680 as the sum of 30 terms of this particular AP. Now these are all direct application of the formulas. If you know the formulas of the nth term or the sum of n terms, you can easily solve all these sums. The sum of 3 terms of an AP is minus 3 and the product is 8. Find the numbers. So this is similar to what we have discussed just now. So how will you choose the terms? We will choose the terms as A minus D, A and A plus D. Okay. Now the first term is A minus D and the common difference is plus D. Right. Now what is given to you? The sum is equal to minus 3. So okay, I am missing an A over here. So minus 3. So when I am adding, the D term will get cancelled. I will get 3A is equal to minus 3, thus giving A is equal to minus 1. So now we have gotten the value of the first term. We need to find the 3 separate terms of the AP. Now one more information is given to us, which is the product is 8. So we can say that A minus D into A plus D is equal to 8. We know the value of A, which is minus 1. Minus 8. Now let us see how we can solve this. So here you can see that I have substituted the value of A as minus 1 and I have taken a common factor of minus 1 outside. So I will get a D plus 1. Here I have a D minus 1 and a negative 1 over here. So D square minus 1 is equal to 8. So I will get D is equal to plus 3 and minus 3. So again, one thing you have to take care here is that when you are taking the square root, do not take only the positive number over here. Take both the numbers, positive as well as negative, because the common difference can be positive or negative, right? So you have D is equal to plus 3 or minus 3. So when D is equal to plus 3, I have written the AP by using A minus D, A and A plus D, and this happens when D is equal to minus 3. Fine. So we will do one more sum under the same topic and we will move on to the next concept. The sum of 4 terms of an AP is given as 20 and the sum of their squares is given as 120. We need to find the numbers. So here we are dealing with 4 numbers which are in AP. I told you how to select the 4 numbers so that the D term cancels out. So you have A minus 3D, A minus D, A plus D and A plus 3D. Now what is a common difference? The most important thing to take care is a change in the common difference. So I can say that the common difference is a plus 2D. Instead of a plus D, you have a plus 2D. Now this is the first term. So sum of the 4 terms means A minus 3D plus A minus D plus A plus D plus A plus 3D is a 20. Now 3D and 3D will get cancelled out and D also will get cancelled out. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 4A is equal to 20, which will give me A is equal to 5. Okay. Now, what is the next information that is given to us? The sum of their squares is 120. Sum of their squares means sum of the squares of the terms of the AP, which is A minus 3D the whole square plus A minus D the whole square plus A plus D the whole square plus A plus 3D the whole square is equal to 120. Correct? Now let us see how we can go about solving this particular equation. So as you can see, the best way to solve this particular equation is to open the bracket. So I have opened the bracket by using a minus b the whole square, and this is what I am getting, and here you have used a plus b the whole square obviously, and the circled terms will get cancelled out. Okay, so what is remaining? I have 1a square here, 1a square here, 1a square here, and 1a square. That will give me 4a square, and 9d square and d square will give me 10d square, plus d square is 11d square plus 9d square is 20d square is equal to 120. Now I already know the value of a, which is equal to 5. So my a square will become 25. 25 into 4 is 100. So here I am getting 20d square is equal to 20. 120 minus 100. So I will get d square is equal to 1, or d is equal to plus or minus 1. So I am getting two values for D and one value for A. Now let me write down the AP. So here you can see that I have written down the AP taking A as a first term, and in the first case D is equal to plus 1, and this is the AP I am getting, and when D is equal to minus 1, this is the AP I am getting. So it is just the AP in the reverse order, but both are two different APs. One is an increasing AP and the other one is a decreasing AP. So make sure you write both the APs, right? The sum of the first 6 terms of an AP is 42. The ratio of its 10th term to the 30th term is 1:3. Calculate the first and the 13th terms. It was a question that was asked in one of the previous year's question papers. I do not remember the year exactly. Now, I have always told you, how do you approach a sum? You read the sum. After you read the sum, you write down the information that is given in the sum, and you supplement it with the knowledge that you already have about that particular question. So that includes formulas, I have told you so many times, and maybe it includes theorems also. So now let us see what is the data that is given to you in this question. It is given that the sum of the first 6 terms of an AP is 42. So, sorry, this is 42. The ratio of the 10th term to the 30th term. So, 10th term to 30th term is equal to 1:3, or I can say A10 by A30 is equal to 1/3. Now we have to find the first and the 13th term. So let the first term be A. Okay, be A. And we need to find A as well as A13. So once you find A, the other data will just fall into place. So we can find the 13th term also. Now let us see what is the knowledge that we already have regarding this particular question. We know the formula for the sum of n terms of the AP, which is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d, and n by 2 into first term plus the last term. Okay, these are the two formulas that we know about the sum of n terms of the AP. And we also know the formula for the nth term of the AP, which is an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, now let us see whether we can apply these formulas to the data that is given in the question. So it is given that the sum of 6 terms of the AP is 42. So I am going to use the first formula because I do not know the first term nor do I know the last term. So S6 is equal to, okay, I will write it here. S6 is equal to first 6 terms, means 6 by 2 into 2a plus 6 minus 1 into d. That will give me 3 into 2a plus 5d. Okay, this I know the value as a 42. So I can say that 2a plus 5d is equal to 14. You have an equation here. Now we know that A10 by A30 is 1 by 3. So I can say that 3 into A10 is equal to 1 into A30, which is actually A30 itself. I am cross multiplying. Now I can apply the formula for A10 and A30 by using this particular form. So 3 into A plus 9D is equal to A plus 29D. Now when I open the bracket, I get 3A plus 27D is equal to A plus 29D, and after rearranging everything, I will get 2A is equal to 2D, or I can say A is equal to D. Okay, now in this particular answer or in this particular question when we are doing, we are getting A is equal to D. Now I can apply this particular information in this formula. So I am going to apply, instead of D, I am going to apply A. So I will get 2A plus 5A is equal to 14, giving me 7A is equal to 14, or the value of A is equal to 2. Right? Now the first part is over. Now I have gotten the value of A. What is the value of D? A is equal to D. So D is also equal to 2. I got the value of A and D both as equal to 2. So I can find the 13th term now. What is the formula for the 13th term? It is A plus 12D, which is 2 plus 12 into 2, which is 26. So my 13th term is a 26 and the first term value is a 2. I hope you are clear with this question. Now we only needed to apply the basic formulas and just the basic calculations, no particular, super hard logic in this. Write down the formula and the data given to you, link both of them, put in the data wherever it is possible, you will get two equations, solve them. Find the sum of all 3-digit natural numbers divisible by 7. So, what do you understand by this question? Which means that there are a few 3-digit numbers which are divisible by 7. We need to add all of them or find the sum and get the final result. Okay. Now, we have done a similar sum. When we were trying to learn about the nth term of an AP, we did a similar sum. What was that sum? Let us do the recap. So, how many 3-digit numbers are there which are divisible by 7? Okay, how did we find that? We assumed there are n 3-digit numbers and we had to know the first 3-digit number so that we get the value of A. So the first 3-digit number we found out to be 105. Then we wrote the formula for the nth term. Nth term means basically the last 3-digit number which was divisible by 7, and that I remember was 994. Then we wrote the formula an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, and we get 994 is equal to 105 plus n minus 1. Here our common difference becomes 7 because the difference between the successive terms in this particular series will be 7 because all are numbers divisible by 7. So into 7. Okay, so you get here n minus 1 into 7, and we solved for n in order to get the total number of 3-digit numbers divisible by 7. So we have done, I think we did a couple of sums based on this particular concept. Now this particular concept has to be applied in this sum also. Let us see why. I have written the formula for the sum of n terms, which is n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1d and n by 2 into first term plus the last term. Now, if you have to apply this formula to this particular question, let us see what is the data that we already know. N by 2 into value of A. A is the first term in that particular progression. So, you can say that it is the first 3-digit number divisible by 7, that is 105. So, you know the value of A. Okay. Do you know how many numbers are there? You have no idea how many numbers are there. And you know the value of D. D is equal to common difference between the numbers is a 7. Okay. So here you do not know the value of n, remaining all the values you know. Even if you are trying to apply the same for this formula, you do not know the value of n, but you know the value of A, which is 105, and you know the value of the last term, which is the last 3-digit number divisible by 7, which is a 994. So ultimately, you realize that you need to find the value of n, which is how many numbers are there which are divisible by 7 and has 3 digits. In order to find that, we go to the previous concept, which is an is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, an is the last term divisible by 7. 994 is equal to 105 into n minus 1 into 7. You got 889 is equal to 7 into n minus 1, or you can say 127 is n minus 1, giving me n is equal to 108. Okay, so 128 numbers are there. Apply it over here. 128 by 2 into 2 into 105 plus 128 minus 1 is 127 into 7. Here you have a 64. Here 2 into 105 plus 127 into 7. Let us see what we are getting as a final answer. How many terms of the series 54, 51, 48 be taken so that their sum is 513? Explain the double answer. This is also a question from one of the previous year's question papers. I have taken this particular question from R.D. Sharma. Now, how many terms of the series? So when you look at the series, what is one thing that stands out? You can see that this is a decreasing series, which means that the common difference is negative. Now let us write down what information we are getting from the question. So from the series, the first term is an A. The common difference is a minus 3. Now the sum is given to be 513. So the sum of the series is 513. They are asking you to find how many terms, which means we need to find the value of n. So let us write down the formula. S is equal to n by 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Okay, we are not taking the second formula because we need to know the last term over here. If we don't even know how many terms are there, so how can we find the last term? So I am going to use the first formula here. So here I will get n by 2 into 2 into 54 plus n minus 1 into minus 3. You have a 513 is equal to n by 2 into 108 minus 3 into n minus 1. Okay. Now I am going to open the inside bracket, which will give me 108 minus 3n plus 3, which is n by 2 into 111 minus 3n. Okay, now we have a very simple equation, a linear, no, actually a quadratic equation in n. So let us open the bracket and see how we can solve it. Here I have cross multiplied and rearranged the terms, and then you can see that 3 is a common factor which has cancelled from the LHS by dividing by 3 across the LHS and the RHS. So after factorizing, I am getting the number of terms as 18 or the number of terms as a 19, which means that the sum of the 18 terms is also 513 and the sum of 19 terms is also 513. That is the reason they have asked you to explain the double answer. How can the number of terms be different? How can both 18 and 19 terms give you the same total sum? This can happen only if the 19th term is a 0, which means that how do you get S19? You get S19 if you add S18 and the 19th term. Correct? Now, if this and this has to be the same value, the 19th term has to be a 0. Now, we need to check if the 19th term is a 0 so that this discrepancy is explained. So let us see what we are getting as a 19th term. So A19 is equal to A plus 18 into D. What is the value of A? 54 plus 18 into minus 3, which is 54 minus 54, giving us a 0. So as expected, the 19th term is a 0. That is the reason the sum of 18 terms and the sum of 19 terms is the same value.